So my speedometer gets shaky on my Alfa when I'm driving. As you can see, it kind of just pops back and forth. I'm going probably like 5 miles an hour and it can't seem to figure out what that is. And it fixes itself when I go faster. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. Alright, so this repair is relatively simple. If you take a look down here underneath the speedometer, you'll see you've got that little bolt there. You just got to take that out. It's pretty simple, and there'll be a couple of screws. I'm going to do that. I mean, it's really just unscrewing. I'm not going to show you everything. We'll just kind of get it done, and then I'll come back in a second. Actually, you know what? That's going to come right off, so we'll just do it. Alright, so simple enough. This just kind of pulls right off. And then inside here you got two screws. In mine there's a Phillips and a flathead. That's probably not supposed to be that way, but that's the way it is. And then once you unscrew this screw and this screw, the whole thing will come out. And then in the back we'll find the speedometer cable, which we're going to deal with next. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew those, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so we got the cover off and we've got this loosened. There's one more thing that you have to do that I almost forgot about, and it's a little bit more difficult. It makes it impossible to do if you don't do this, though. So you go down here and your cable for your odometer needs to be loosened and removed. So that's pretty simple right here. It's just a little nut that's attached to it. So that just comes off. I'm not sure what size it is, but I think I have it loose enough that I can do this by hand. Anyway, that comes all the way down. And now this whole thing can go up through. And your speedometer should come out, at least most of the way. Enough that you can get kind of behind it and unscrew the speedometer cable, and that's where our problem is. So it's just this cable right here. Oops, and here we go, good better view. It's just held on by hand. Mine's a little bit greasy because I've done this before. And you just have to loosen it, and then the whole thing's going to come out. I'm going to go get some paper towels because it's covered in some grease, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so hard part's over. Now we've got the cable exposed here. And you can see right inside there is the thing that we're going to be taking care of. That is, I think it's a pulsating thing, but it might rotate. In any case, that's what's causing the shaking. It just needs to be a little bit more lubricated. So I'm going to spray in some white lithium grease. I'm also going to put some right where it connects in here too, just to be certain to make sure I'm getting all the parts. I wouldn't go too much into this because you don't want it to go inside your speedometer. But this is pretty straightforward. I put some paper towels down because this can get a little bit messy, and I don't want to get the lithium grease all over my car. And I'm doing this one-handed. But you just take a little lithium grease, put it in here, spray, and let it do its thing. It'll run down into the cord a little bit. I like to do this for a little while, let it kind of sit and do it again, and just kind of keep doing it for a little bit. I've put other things in here before. I've used silicone spray, and I may have used WD-40, but that's not really lubricant. This stuff though is what my mechanic had suggested was the better choice. He said use white grease. That's what I got, was this just, you know, white lithium grease, and it seems to do a pretty good job. This lasts for a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of crud in there, kind of just old grease. I want to say the last time I did this was maybe a year ago, and it has been fine up until about this past week. So it lasts for, you know, a decent amount of time, but there's no need to replace the whole speedometer. It's, you know, if this is the only problem, that it's just being kind of shaky, this is a really cheap fix that only takes about, you know, 10 minutes of your time. Anyway, to fix this, you just put it all right back together the same way you took it apart. Don't forget to put your odometer cable back into the hole and tighten that nut on, and that's it. So I hope this helps everybody. I might do a little video of it driving with it not being so shaky. Last time I did this, it's still a little shaky in the lower like in the lower speeds, but it starts getting better around 30 miles an hour. Right now it was doing it around like 50 or 60 is how long it took for it to not shake, and it was making all these noises like this ticking sound, and it'll stop doing that now, which it has at least it's done in the past, and it's always been fine for a while. So anyway, yeah, pretty simple fix. So it's night. I'm going about the same speed that I was before, and as you can see, the shake is significantly reduced. It's not perfect, but it's not making a ticking sound anymore. And once I get up to speed, that's probably gonna kind of calm down and be gone in a much lower speed at that. So anyway, success, not perfection, but pretty good.